Again, my name is Chad Witcher, and before I start, what I like to say is on my YouTube videos, whatever I do, I record motivational speeches on YouTube and stuff. And so before I start, I just pray that before I leave, I'm able to encourage, motivate, and inspire at least one of you before you leave here today to be the best version of yourselves that you could possibly be. All right, so level up for purpose. Who here, by show of hands, knows what their purpose is in life? Anybody? You know what your purpose is?
Kind of, sort of.
All right, what you think it is?
Okay. So I found out my family knows I love to save money. They might be like, hey, you don't never want to do nothing. You always want to spend your money on food. Well, that made me find out what my major was, and to do finance, I love to help people with their money. So I like to talk to people, get to know them, see how their financials are, because don't nobody want to be broke, you know, but it happens in life. So basically putting myself out there, talking to people, getting to know people, and helping them with their finances, that's what I kind of feel like my purpose is.
All right. So the fact that you know you have a clue of what area you want to go towards in your life, that's a good step to know where you're gonna end up in your future. So for those of us who don't know what our purpose is, which is totally fine because you got enough time, y'all are young. But for those of us who don't know, I'm gonna start by saying this. Before you can level up in your life, you have to first man up. Before you can man up, you have to know yourself and your purpose. And before you can know yourself and your purpose, you have to first know the one who created you. So Ephesians 4:6 says, one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. So how can we possibly know ourselves and our purpose without first getting to know the very one who created us? Developing a relationship with God will not only please God, but you will also begin to notice small things change in your life, like things as you don't get as mad at the small stuff no more. The people who talk about you behind your back, they don't want you to fail. They want you to fail. They don't really faze you anymore. The dreams you have, the goals that you aspire to accomplish, they don't seem as far-fetched as they used to. And this is because creating a bond with God will make you view life and its possibilities as this tree of opportunities that you pull from every day. And so who is God? God is an endless God. He's a patient God. He's a protector. He's a best friend. He's a brother, a sister, a mother, a father. He is everything that you need. And so God knows everything about you, even the very things that you won't tell anybody, like your best friend. He knows everything about you. So, and this is the exact reason why we should begin to talk with him, tell him our fears, our dreams, our problems, everything that we go through, we should tell him. And then God will slowly reveal to us where we should go, who to bring with us, and who we need to leave behind. Everybody is not going to be able to come with you in your future. Even the people that you love, everybody who's close with you, everybody is not going to be able to come. And so everybody say this, get to know God.
Get to know God.
Thank you. So after you get to know God, now it's time to man up. All right, and so by the way, ladies, man up is not just for guys. You can man up as well. You can call a woman up, you can call it whatever you want. But just know you got to get through some stuff. So can anybody give me their definition of what you think it means when I say man up? Anybody want to try?
Get tough.
Yep, get tough. Anybody else?
That's right.
You say you want to?
I'm just backing my baby up.
All right, well, that's a good answer, though. What I put was man up means that no matter what you're faced with in your life, you must deal with it head on, and you got to see it through until the situation is resolved in some way, shape, or form. I said do not fold. Once you begin in your life to try to make a change for a better, it's going to be at that point. The devil will get an alert, a trigger. Something is going to go off where the devil, he begins his process to try to destroy whatever it is you're trying to build, become, or the habits that you may be trying to break. And for me, there was a low point in my life, and I felt the devil tried to take my mom away from me. My mom, she never smoked, never drank, But in 2014, she became ill, and leading up to this, we started to know see certain changes in her. She had a loss of energy. She was short of breath. She was always tired, and so eventually, her and my dad, they decided to set up a doctor's appointment to see like what was going on with her. And they went over to, it was Athens Regional at that time. They changed the name or whatever. But after many tests and what seemed like 1,000 shots later, the doctors there still couldn't figure out what was going on with her. And so my dad, who was like furious at this point, he demanded that they transfer my mom to somebody who knew what was going on, because they couldn't get no results or nothing. And so that night they transferred my mom to Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. And the doctors there determined that my mom's liver, for some reason, it began attacking itself. And so they said that they was gonna need like a liver transplant. I don't know if y'all know about getting a transplant, but that's not something that you can get overnight. They have to go to this bank. They gotta pull organ, or the people who donate the organs, they gotta make sure there's a match for your body or whatever. And so the doctor said that she was gonna need a transplant and that they needed to get one within the week. So they gave my mom, they told us that she was gonna have 5 days to live. And so as a man, your mom, that's your rock. Like, I go to my mom for everything that I need. And so they said she was gonna need one within the week, or it wasn't likely that she was gonna make it. And I don't know if y'all seen like the videos where they was like, it was at that point. Y'all seen the video? Y'all, it was at that point, I was like, it was like a ton of bricks just fell on my shoulders, because I didn't know, they told me my mom wasn't gonna make it, so I didn't know what I was gonna do. I mean, I had my dad, but still, your mom is your mom.
That's right.
And so,
That's right.
y'all say this for me, say, everything always works out for the good. Say that.
Everything always works out for the good.
Yes, it was that phrase that my mom, she always told me this growing up. And so as she was going through this situation, I would oftentimes like say that just to get me through this. And so I don't know if y'all have heard this before, but when people you love in life go through things, God oftentimes sets it up so that not only will they get the blessing, but if you stand close enough to him, sometimes he will pour out a blessing over your life as well. And so my mom, praise to God, she found a liver transplant, and she's living today, and she's healthy, and she's more beautiful than ever. But my point of that was, during that whole time, what got me through that situation was I began to build this relationship with God, and I grew closer to him, and it was closer than I ever was before. And this was all because of what my mom was going through. And he used that situation to show me that he is a miracle worker. He can do all things. And tough situations like this is gonna come up in y'all life. When y'all trying to go to college, there's gonna be some tough stuff that y'all have to go through. But God never gives you more than you can bear. And he gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. And just a more recent situation is I was telling her that I just had to move back to Athens because this was supposed to be my last semester in college. I was supposed to graduate, but I was at Kennesaw State University, and for some odd reason, they decided to audit my financial aid. And so long story short, I wasn't able to pay for my semester of college. So I just ended up moving back here. My lease was up in my apartment. But instead of walking around depressed and sad about that situation, I decided to put a positive twist on it. So y'all gonna have some negative things in your life, but maturity is when you take a negative situation in your life and you find a way to twist it into a positive. And so, like I said, instead of moping around being sad about the situation, I decided to write a book. And so I just recently published my first children's book. It's called Grace. Y'all go out and buy it if you want to. But yeah, I decided to publish my first children's book. So that was one of the things I said I wanted to do before I graduated, and so I ended up doing that. And so moving on, y'all say this for me, say know yourself and your purpose.
Know yourself and your purpose.
Exactly. So now we began to build this relationship with God. We just went through a tough situation, so we had to man up for the one time. And now we're walking around, we got the armor of God on us. We feeling good, right? No. We still have yet to find our purpose in life. what is your purpose? Who are you? Ask yourself this question, who am I?
There you go.
And after you ask yourself that question, ask yourself, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Let me first start by saying this. Each and every one of you here matter. The fact that you have shown up today on your time, you already are ahead of the competition in life because you came here to get more knowledge, and knowledge is power. Your unique stories, the things that you've been through, the things that you've seen and heard, all of these things, someone in this world needs to hear it. Someone in this room needs to hear it. All right, so everything that you do from the moment that I finish talking to the moment that I walk out of here, it should be ultimately to lift God up and draw all men unto him. Each and every one of you have gifts. And all gifts aren't just singing and dancing. Some of you may have the gift of being a great organizer. You have the gift of being a great friend. You have the gift of fashion and design. No matter what your gift is, you need to use that gift to help someone. When people connect with you, you should want them to see the God in you, and that in the end they will want to know the God that you serve. I encourage you all to start to speak words of affirmation every morning you wake up and before you go to sleep. Y'all should say things like, I am successful.
I am successful.
Fellas, say, I am a king.
I am the king.
Ladies, I'm a queen.
I'm a queen.
You should say, this one for me, I will graduate.
I will graduate.
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am smart.
I am smart.
Phrases like those are going to help you when you are trying to get through situations in your life. And when you find your purpose, it's not always going to happen overnight. All right, and so now we're at this point where we figured out who we are, we know where we're going, and we are trusting in God that he's going to get us there, right? And so when you level up for the sake of finding purpose, this is an important part, listen. When you level up for the sake of finding purpose, you need to realize that you no longer are going to have time to waste on people and things that are not helping you spiritually, physically, or mentally. I said you're going to realize you no longer have time to waste on people and things who are not helping you spiritually, mentally, and physically. You know that there's a million people out here trying to get to the same dreams, the same goal. They're trying to do the same things that you are, but this is the thing that is going to separate you is that you are consistent on your journey and that you continue to put one foot in front of the other. And also, not only the fact that you are consistent, but the fact that your faith in God and knowing that your steps are already ordered. And because of this, no one is going to be able to deter you from your purpose. Before I end, notice that with each step that I mentioned here today, the man up step, the getting to know God step, the finding your purpose step, I made sure that I was conscious in mentioning God in each one of the steps. And Proverbs 16 says, the heart of a man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. In all things you do, y'all need to include God, because without God, all of it probably most likely will fail. So make sure that you include him in all of your dreams, your goals, and everything that you do. And keep God first, include him, like I said, and you're just one choice away from finding a purpose.
Come on,